Hello everyone and welcome to the Small Talk with the Etsy Collective, an initiative to bring you closer to the change makers, industry veterans and Etsy sellers and give you an opportunity to listen to their thoughts, ideas and find some inspiration that we all need right. I'm really happy to share with all of you that the Etsy Collective completed its 2-year anniversary milestone in August, and thanks to all of you for coming along with us in this journey. Your love, enthusiasm and feedback is what keeps us going, and we look forward to many more such milestones with you. We have a short video here to play with you as a celebration of our Etsy Collective.
Hello everybody, we have completed 2 years of Etsy Collective. It has just been an incredible way for people to connect. Etsy's mission is keep commerce human, and I believe that Etsy Collective has been able to work towards that mission and serve that mission in a very effective manner. Here's to 2 years of Etsy Collective and many more to come. I believe that this is absolutely the best platform to keep commerce human, in addition to being online on Etsy.com.
Congratulations Etsy on completing 2 years of the collective.
This is an amazing milestone. Kudos to you guys. Congratulations.
Has to be the first collective which we had in Bikaner House. I was invited to the event and I absolutely loved it.
I so vividly remember that when I walked into the room, there was so much energy, there was so much enthusiasm. That itself became such an amazing memory for me.
A DIY session at the end of the workshop, I think it's really a stress buster that you get involved, you learn and you leave the session with a souvenir.
There's so much to learn from so many creative geniuses.
I'm sure it adds a lot of value and provides a lot of insight into the many facets of this industry.
Etsy India team really took on the challenge of making the lockdown successful and informative and educative for all their Etsy sellers.
The entire Etsy team, keep rocking, you guys are doing great.
And thank you for keeping commerce human.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. And with that, I'd like to introduce our team. Sunanda Krishna is the PR and marketing lead for Etsy in India. The Etsy Collective has been her passion project for the last 2 years and something that she never tires speaking about. Radhika and Ria are part of the marketing team. They are the behind the scenes stars of this session, and they'll also be answering you in the chat box. Anushka is our expert for today, and she will be answering all your questions related to setting up your Etsy shop. Her team has helped hundreds of sellers in setting their Etsy business up for success. And finally, I'm Ishani Mukherjee, and I'm part of the community and marketing team, and I'll be moderating the session. Now I'd like to welcome our very special guest, Dr. Meenakshi from the Etsy shop CocoonKapas. Dr. Meenakshi, a firm believer of the ideology of Swadeshi, and CocoonKapas is the embodiment of her vision of promoting handmade Indian traditional clothes globally. Thank you so much, Dr. Meenakshi, for being part of the session. With that, I'd introduce the agenda for today's session. I'll start with a short introduction about Etsy. After that, we'll move on to the fireside chat with the seller, where we learn more about Swadeshi in fashion. And then we'll move on to the Q&A section with the audience. Etsy is a global marketplace for unique and handcrafted goods. We provide entrepreneurs with a platform to showcase their work to people from more than 80 countries in the world. We're the only marketplace which focuses on creative entrepreneurs, and we help our community of sellers turn their ideas into successful businesses. Our platform connects sellers with millions of buyers looking for an alternative, something special with a human touch for those moments in life that deserve imagination. Currently, we have 2.8 million active sellers all over the world, selling more than 66 million products to over 47 million active buyers. In a time when automation is increasing so much, it's our mission to keep the human connection at the heart of commerce. And that is why we've built a place where creativity lives and thrives because it's powered by people like you. I'd like to share a little bit about our green footprint. In 2019, Etsy became the first e-commerce company to offset 100% of carbon emissions from shipping. From every item that is shipped in our marketplace, Etsy automatically invests in environmental projects to offset the emissions. Since 2019, we have offset over 173,000 metric tons of CO2, which is the equivalent of 20,000 homes' energy use for a year, or charging 22 billion smartphones. And it's not just us as a company who feel responsible to account for our carbon footprint. 90% of our buyers also say that environmental sustainability is very important to them. There are three categories of goods which can be sold on Etsy. First is handmade, which is anything that you design or make comes under this category, which is also our biggest category of sales. Vintage are items that are at least 20 years old in product age. And craft supplies are anything which can be used to make something new. For instance, material like fabric, gemstones, and this is the only category that we allow bulk sales in. And lastly, I want to share some trivia that shows that Etsy is built to encourage entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs pick Etsy for their journey. 95% of our sellers are actually working out of their homes, and 53% of total sellers sold their first goods on Etsy, which means that they became entrepreneurs on Etsy. 83% of our sellers are also women, and 90% of our sellers are businesses of one. And there's a reason that entrepreneurs pick Etsy. It's because we believe that entrepreneurship begins with you. That's why we think all decisions regarding your shop should be made by you. Starting from the price you want to charge for your products to the shop policies about shipment, returns, and refunds. We also have a lot of seller services and tools which help you get started and also help you manage and scale your business. Etsy was founded in 2005 and our headquarters is in Brooklyn. We started a corporate office in India in 2018 in New Delhi. And since then, we've tried to engage with the creative community in India, and the Etsy Collective is a result of that objective. Our aim with the Etsy Collective is to build a community of artistic individuals who are curious about Etsy as a platform and want to explore it. We have done over 100 sessions with the Etsy Collective, and these are the places where we have done these sessions offline. And I want to show you a small video of the Etsy Collective to give you a glimpse of the offline experience and what we have in store for you, hopefully not too far in the future.
Etsy was one of the first steps I took, which brought my passion out of just being a passion and into something which could give me, actual money. The ease with which anybody today can take any skill they have and monetize that and turn it into a brand, which is amazing. It means that anybody who has a skill can make it more than just a hobby.
We're not just about selling. Etsy is really about building a community of creative people. And what we've done in India is since last year is that we try through the Etsy Collective to meet with different creative people in different parts of the country. So far we've done about 32 collectives. Almost all the bigger cities we've covered, and now we aim to go to the smaller cities and interact with creative people.
It was great, quite informative. It was worth it.
It's always good to be around Etsy people and the entire communities.
People are very welcoming, and this workshop, everything was good.
Thanks so much, Radhika, for playing that video. I will move on to our fireside chat with our seller now. Meenakshi, can you start by telling us a little bit about your background, and you come from a design background?
I'm from Education City, Rohtak, Haryana. and I am graduate from science field and doctorate in literature. I don't belong to the education field, but I'm pursuing my passion about Indian textile and its craft.
That's amazing. So, how did you come up with the idea of starting CocoonKapas? And what is the background of your brand and what's the story behind it?
My ideology behind my brand is the promise to my client, a promise of quality, consistency, and reliability that I believe strongly. Next slide, please. My brand name CocoonKapas comprising two words, that is cocoon means silk and kapas is cotton. These are the two main ingredients which make the piece of cloth. And my tagline is life of threads. Whenever we talk about any design or any textile, total reflection of the final product always depend on the yarn that we are conceptualizing the idea. So CocoonKapas is totally in-house production-based brand, which we use only authentic handloom textile with our natural crafts, Indian natural crafts. That is just like reciting a poetry in form of sari, stoles, dupatta, and flow of fabrics, which is just like to celebrate our nationhood. Next slide, please. If we talk about the textile that I use in CocoonKapas, actually since last 8 years, I'm into this fashion industry and I have been working with many weavers through different regions of India. And with my progress, now I have my own R&D, sample development, production development with the whole handloom capacity. And I basically work in 3 regions of India, which is Chanderi. It's a town in Madhya Pradesh. I use the silk and different blends for their weaving. Bhagalpur, Bihar, basically linen and cotton and some of my silks also. And I introduced Haryanvi culture, Haryana textile as a charkha cotton. And in my brands or my R&D sections, I'm not working only for CocoonKapas. We are working with other Indian sustainable brands as well as international brands. Next slide, please. And if we talk about the authenticity, about the textile, every brand should have the certification, I must say. Our government has provided some assurance that the textile the brand is using should have the certification, and we have the silk mark, handloom mark, and we are associated with the councils of India like HEPC. HEPC is all about Handloom Export Promotion Council. EPCH is Export Promotion Council. ISEPC is for International Export Promotion Council. And we are in association with the Weaver Service Center, Ministry of Textile, Government of India for the expert training for our textile, innovation in textile and the global demand. Next slide, please. Achievements and objective. When we start our business, we should have looked at the markets for CocoonKapas participation or in export field or demand of Indian textiles, Swadeshi handcraft, hand woven fabric is the global market. So we are the part of national, international export shows. We did many standalone shows, again, national or international level. We were in some shows of Fiki FLO, Silk Mark India, Vasutra India. These all are these shows that you give that they give us the platform where you can show your craft to them, to the direct consumer. Most importantly, now we are exploring all over the world with Etsy shop. Thankfully, we have Etsy. And I believe in our Indian diversity, capacity, and committed to make Swadeshi as a global choice.
That's really, I think, that was super, super informative. Thanks so much. I have a few questions of my own. Maybe I'll also save them for the Q&A section. But you said that you've been able to reach different countries through Etsy. So can you tell me a little bit about why did you choose to sell online and through Etsy specifically, and how has your experience been?
Well, CocoonKapas was doing very well at national level, and I am successful in my e-commerce website, that is CocoonKapas.com. I was looking for the global market, and I know about Etsy earlier, but I never tried. And one day I thought, why don't I open my shop Etsy? And here I am. It was very easy to handle. First of all, it is a very consumer, it is very, its backend is very supportive. And on the very first day, when you open your Etsy shop, it just make your passion into entrepreneurship, and it give you the complete transparency that the main problem that we could have came in my mind, or I think everyone's in mind, the transparency. How will we get the foreign money in our account? So it is as transparent as in Indian market. So this is the best for me to being on Etsy shop.
That's great. I'm so glad that it's been useful for you and that you found the experience to be user friendly. Meenakshi, what are the different fabrics that you work with, and what do you love specifically about textile? How did your passion for textile kind of begin?
As I already mentioned, I am not only working with the existing fabrics, I am passionate about the Indian yarns. Yarns always create the story of a textile or a fabric, like cotton silk, pure silk, and ahimsa silk is the main for me nowadays, and I'm going to pursue with that. Linen I think is the most premium quality in the world, and some blends of yarns, and I basically work with the designers or the demand. I create my own fabric, and the basic thing that I love for my fabric is that my fabric react according to me. Whatever I want for my fabric, that react like that.
That's amazing. So you actually create different fabrics from the yarn, and by working with your buyers and customizing like the feel and the texture of the fabrics, is that the level of customization that you can usually do?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So as we know that it is the hands of the newer generation to take the rich legacy of Indian handlooms forward, can you share some ideas on how to make them understand Swadeshi fashion?
Yeah, I agree. It depends on our new generation, and this main basic thing about the Swadeshi, that is in their hand. They have to absorb the legacy, and they have to be part of that. I'll again share some slides. Like for the global market, we have to work on the demand. I have created some. I am associated some global market or national designers. I introduce my work as natural dyes, eco printing, and the most specifically, I design my bio washing for softening and finishing as a special feature, especially for my textile. I work on Indian legacy, hand painted pen kalamkari with natural colors, hand block print, again natural colors, bakia shibori, hand printed, some upcycle project, zero waste, I believe the most. And we always intend to keep on exploring in a sustainable way. Like our generation should have know the nuances story, how to create that. Like I'm sharing you the Bakia Shibori technique. Slide please.
beautiful. That was a beautifully made video. Thanks so much for sharing that with us.
And they have to know about the keen points, keen techniques that involved in our craft processes. We have to educate our viewers or consumer with this Swadeshi craft processes. I believe it's a conscious designer's duty. Next slide, please. And sustainability and handloom as a luxury trade, we have to understand that for luxury product we do not require to move for other fabrics. There are reflection of some designs or our handloom culture or our silks, our yarns, our textile is completely able to fulfill that kind of requirement. I use for this kind of collection hand painted pen kalamkari, natural dyes, hand woven muga silks, and you can see how they are luxurious and ease. I have been working with some beauty pageants like Mr. India and Miss India, and I try every time the Swadeshi craft and loom products. And the best compliment from the participant that enhanced my confidence was we feel luxury and ease together. Really, they loved the fabric, the flow, and the comfort while they were performing in their show. The best or the most important thing, how you are a conscious fashion and sustainable way of designing. We have to follow some parameters for this, like how long you are using your single garment. Is it a complete biodegradable or it has an antimicrobial quality? Are they skin sensitized? What is the level of skin sensitization? These parameters every conscious designer should keep in mind wherever they are going to buy the textile. They are using different yarn qualities in their production, and style always play an important role to make your design or your look sustainable. Like how many ways you can use your product. This kind of design or this kind of different styling, every designer should keep in mind. Finally, people are using what you are creating. Thank you.
Thanks again for sharing that with us, Meenakshi. So can you share some advice for the audience of how we can further promote the ideology of Make in India and Vocal for Local and create a market for Swadeshi products globally?
Wow, this is an interesting question. I see this, I have to explain in two different aspects. One is what is the actual ideology behind Make in India? We have to understand that. We are the strongest supplier of raw material in the global market, right? And the ideology which is behind the Make in India, that we have to work on the complete solution or the tailor-made solution for the global market. But what we should sell in global market, this is the part of research. We have to understand the global market, what is their requirement, what the tradition they follow, and what kind of flow of the fabric they require. And the new generation, new designer, or the manufacturer should follow that kind of research behind your production. We have to inculcate our technology. We have to inculcate our expertise with our viewers who are working in a small scale industry, especially for them, because they know the traditionally how to make the fabric. But we have to make them understand what should be done for the global market. So it is a combination of the technology, today's knowledge, and with the viewers, then you will see the magic.
Thanks for sharing that. Finally, do you have any advice to someone who's starting on Etsy right now? What are the few things that they need to pay attention to?
First of all, I would suggest Etsy. kindly do it right now if you have anything in your hand, because it's a very user friendly, it's team, very supportive team all the time, and it your passion can be your entrepreneurship. This is the dream come true kind of platform, and be confident, uh, go with that. I recommend it, strongly recommend it.
Yeah, I think just getting started, taking the first step is definitely, I think, a good recommendation that we endorse for our audience. Meenakshi, I'll move on to the audience questions now. So Ashish Jindal is asking a little bit more about how did you move from, a science field and a doctorate in literature to having a textile and a business in fashion. So what was your journey exactly? How did it go about?
Actually, I brought up in a kind of environment where we were using khadi at every step. My father used to give us the towel, even towels from khadi, and we understand that we absorb that easiness and then the khadi nuances in our life. And I was in study field, but I might have some passion about Indian textile from very early stage of my life, because I was in I see my mother how she create the suit or the kurtis from the sari. I was very I have interest in that field, but because of I was pursuing my science education, I have to complete my graduation and then got married and go to the literature field. And I was an assistant professor. I was doing, I realized I have a passion about my textile. I always intend to attend the handloom seminars, and sometime I realized that if I want to if I have knowledge and if I can pursue that, why not I move to the business. And my family support, because of my family support, my husband's support, and I'm doing this business. And time to time I got the knowledge about my in my journey. Now I am an exporter for our Indian Swadeshi culture.
It's great that you could, find a way to pursue your passion. I'm sure that's inspiration for a lot of people. Ashish also said that he's also from Haryana in Hisar and said thanks to you. Madhumita is asking if you have any tips on how to create a concrete, like a user base in Etsy and attract potential buyers for handloom in the initial stages of your Etsy journey.
You require only 2-3 things that you have to always keep in mind. Make a good design on research basis, as I earlier mentioned. Do research, invest your time on the demand of global, and Etsy is the good platform to see, because it's a direct consumer based kind of platform that all kind of people are there selling and purchasing. Secondly, you have to make a good picture. You have to generate, you have to show your story behind that, and you can take the advantage from the technology to taking picture or making some videos. Always show what is the basic idea behind your product. It will help you the most.
Thanks. We have a question from Pallavi, who is asking that in the era of fast fashion, how did you establish Swadeshi fashion, and are people adopting Swadeshi products?
I have confidence about the Swadeshi fashion because from my childhood I'm using this, and some stages of my life when I got married, I got to know about other textile, other fabrics, and I tried them also. And I find, no, I am using Swadeshi. This is the best, because I can feel the that thing personally. Yes, of course, there is a challenges to move fast fashion users or some other fabrics or other things into the Swadeshi. It takes time, but people got converted. It depends on your conversion power too.
Jaya Maheshwari is asking, what are the fabrics what fabrics are considered to be Swadeshi?
Swadeshi fashion or Swadeshi fabric, which is made in India, and especially from local industries, small scale industries. I believe Swadeshi is handloom.
Yeah, makes sense.
All natural fibers, I must say.
Shalakha is asking, is it possible for a creator to generate enough revenue to be able to pursue their craft as full-time? I think you can definitely speak from experience on this to give Shalakha some inspiration.
Why not? That, as I mentioned, I came from education field to the this fashion field. I start just like I just start my brand, but usually people say me as a boutique. They understand me as a boutique. First of all, we have to break that thing. You are a brand and you are doing your own thing. To consumer should be thankful to you that you are creating something for them. Then you set this statement, you will got your whatever you want to do in your life.
Siddhi Malani is, I think, asking for some specific advice. They're saying that they're a fashion designer. What should be the terms of selling as well as returning the product when you're selling, when you have an online business? So they want to start a casual wear, sustainable brand. And the second question is also, how do they procure handloom fabric directly from artisans?
Again, in my case, I have my own clusters and I make my own product. I make my own fabric weaving. But before that, I have worked with the weavers earlier. We have our government support for that. You can Google HEPC, EPCH. These are the councils where you can find the actual manufacturer over there. And if you can visit the places as I do, I went every single place where textile I want to inculcate in my journey or in my work. That is the better way to understand. And you should have basic knowledge about the textile, that if you are talking about the natural fibers, that you have to know about the natural fiber. Nobody can cheat you. That kind of strength you must have.
I'll take up a few questions for Anushka now. Anushka, if you can just come on camera, I have a few questions for you. So the first question is from Sachin Das, who's asking that how does Etsy listing and renewal work, and what are the charges for that?
So Etsy has some listing fees. And that depends that, for example, if you are listing a product that is live for the next 4 months. So Etsy listing has a shelf life of 120 days. And renewal is totally a choice of seller. We have an option in the listing itself, whether you want to choose a manual renewal or the automatic renewal. So if you are choosing a manual renewal, then the listing will not be renewed after 4 months. You need to renew it manually. And if you are choosing an automatic renewal, then that listing will automatically renewed after every 4 months. And the listing fees on Etsy is 20 cents, which is $0.20 that you need to pay for every listing, and it's a cost of 4 months. Now, if you don't have a GST number, then the listing fee should be 20 cents plus 18%, which is 24 cents, $0.24.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that, Anushka. There's also another question from Reenu, who's asking that what is the process to get started on Etsy? So I know that we have a step-by-step process, so if you can share that with Reenu.
Sure. So as we all know that Etsy encourages artists from every corner. So we have artists from every corner of world. So to make it a user-friendly platform, first of all, we need to make the registration very simpler. So Etsy has a very simple registration process which you need to follow. It has 5 steps. First, you need to go to the website and do the registration part. After that, you will first need to choose your preferred language, country, and currency in the first step, which is shop preferences. Second step is name your shop, in which you need to choose a name for your virtual store, which will be live on Etsy. And the third step is stock your shop, in which you list you need to list one product. You need to just upload a photograph and few details about it that you can change later on. It is editable. Then the fourth step is how you are going to receive the payments from the buyers. So you need to mention your PayPal email address, which should be a business PayPal, for receiving the amount from the buyers. And the last step is set up billing, in which you need to set up the billing, like how you are going to pay to Etsy in future if you get any sale, or the listings which you will do, the amount which you need to pay to Etsy, that how you're going to pay. After all these 5 steps are done, you need to just click on open your shop and you will be live on Etsy. Although we have our onboarding team of specially trained agents who are onboarding the sellers on a regular basis. So we understand that if somebody is not like able to understand the process, you can fill the form and our team will get in touch with you. They'll help you in onboarding, not only onboarding, but also help you in the listing process, as well as making you comfortable with the website, at how to like work on a website basically.
Thanks so much. I think you really helped make it sound super simple. So I hope everyone in the audience will be encouraged to start their Etsy shop. The last question, Anushka, is from, actually we have 2 people who've asked this, which is about how do you ship from India to all over the world? And so what is the best way to do that? And does Etsy help out with that?
Okay, so as Etsy is a user-friendly platform, as we've already discussed, it's we don't want to restrict any sellers. So we made shipping totally a choice of seller. They can ship from any shipping agent in their locality, or whoever they want to ship with. We want them to use their own packaging, because we want every artist to be recognized by their buyers. And right now, Etsy has integrated recently with the one shipping agent, which is Yakit. So it's a shipping company which has a tie-up with different shipping companies. You can ship through them. We have a team who is handling the Yakit process. So if you have any questions, we can fill a form and we can arrange a call for that as well. But at last, it is totally the choice of seller to whom they want to ship with. It's not a like restrictions on sellers to use any shipping company. You can choose as per your choice.
Okay. And Madhumita has a question of how can they connect with the Etsy seller help desk for any support that they need? Or I think it's about both support as well as promotion. So maybe if you can also tell them about the shop optimization process and some of the services that are offered.
Okay, so on Etsy, first of all, when you open a new shop, first of all, the most important thing is the organic search. That comes with the quality of listings which you will do with proper tags, titles, and obviously the picture should be attractive enough. And at last, the organic search, if the tags are proper, definitely you will get the specific buyers. So we need to use long tail and specific keywords. So now if we move next, like first is organic search, which I've already tell you that your listing should be proper enough, like with proper tags and titles. Now if we talk about the other methods which we have on Etsy for increasing the visibility, we have some free and some paid promotions. Free promotions are sales and coupons. Like if you are getting good visits, but you're not getting the sales, so you can give some discounts and coupons to your buyers so that they got attracted and maybe they can purchase from your store. Now, the second is the paid promotion, which is Etsy ads. So it is a paid promotion in which you need to set a budget and you will decide on your own that how much you want to spend. There is no restrictions on that. You can decide at how much investment you want to do on Etsy. And then you can, that Etsy will do the same for you. We have a like specially trained marketing team who is doing the same for you. They will promote your product on the basis of demand and supply. That in which market your supply and demand is good, they will market your products in that market. So it's totally optional. So we have both the options. First of all, the organic search, and the second is the paid promotions or the free promotions.
Thanks so much, Anushka. I hope that was helpful for our audience, both our potential sellers as well as Etsy sellers. Meenakshi, I just have a few more questions for you. So the first one is interesting. Kritika is asking, how can Indian fabrics be used for, you said that you have international buyers as well. So can you share a little bit about how to, partner with international buyers and make sure that Indian fabrics get used for international fashion?
As I mentioned in my PPT, that I have participated in some international shows. I got the chance to meet them, and through Etsy shop also I find some designers who want to sell our product, because first they order from Etsy and they feel there is something different with the CocoonKapas textile, and they directly want to contact us. We have to send them swatches, and they love it very much. And now the journey start like that.
Perfect. That's actually a really that's a new insight. It's not so commonly heard of, but it's amazing that you've also been able to not just find end consumers, but also find buyers for your products globally from Etsy. So really glad that Etsy is you. Yeah. The final question that I have is that how can we encourage people to wear more Indian fabrics as part of regular wear and not just occasion wear?
Before encouraging other people, first of all, we have to wear our culture first. When we start wearing, and we definitely will find the difference between the sustainable fabric or the handloom fabrics. And once who realize this difference, he can easily convey his passion, his experience to the other. And when they look at you, and you will look some graceful, that I always got comment from my friend circle and my buyers, and my business start that way.
Perfect. So yeah, change definitely begins with us. Thanks so much for sharing that. And that's all the time that we have today. I thank each and every one of you for being part of the small talk session with the Etsy Collective. Do tell us how you like the event in the feedback form that you will receive. Our next session will be with the Etsy seller Elvira from Chevi Patterns on the topic of creating an online business of DIY products. Thank you so much, Dr. Meenakshi, for spending your Saturday with us and sharing your experience of building a brand. Thank you, Anushka. Thank you to the team. Do let us know how you like the event in the feedback form that you will receive via email. And again, thanks again for your time and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.